How's it going, everybody? My name is Adz, and today I'm back here to talk to you more about Disney Channel. This is a sequel to my previous successful Disney Channel crossover video describing the various crossovers and connections between classic Disney Channel shows. By the end of that video, I created a map linking together all those shows in a web of nostalgia, but many commenters pointed out more crossovers that I missed. So I did some research to confirm these links and catalogue them all together. But on my journey, I came across a colossal discovery, one that adds a whole new level to the universe, and it gave me inspiration to create this video. But before I can talk about that, I need to make a few additions to my map. I had previously concluded that Kickin' It, Zeke and Luther and Pair of Kings, along with Code Buckets, Lab Rats and Mighty Med, were disconnected mini-universes with no discernible links to the main Disney Channel universe. However, there are Easter eggs that I simply did not know about that connect them together. In the Austin Alley episode My Tab and My Pet, there's a Tech Town store which is a location Lab Rats, so a solid connection is drawn there. And then, in Kickin' It's Zombie Warriors, a poster for Hammerhage 2, Return of the Hemoglobin in 3D, is seen in the background, which is featured in Ant Farm's episode Creative Consolant.
9 tickets to Hammerhage 2, please.
I can also have the shows like Bunked and Raven's Home onto the board, as they're just spin-offs of Jessie and That's a Raven respectively. I wanted to try and add Sonny with a Chance to the board too, since I love Demi Lovato in it. I researched crossovers for the show, and found one called Sonny on Deck with Best Friends Forever, but only on one unknown Wikipedia site with no other mention of it anywhere else on the internet. So I have to assume that this doesn't actually exist. I also hoped that I could connect Demi Lovato to Jonas with Camp Rock, but she plays a different character other than Sonny in that movie, so no connection. Now that my map is a little more complete, I can actually take this even further. As you may remember, Girl Meets World is connected to the rest of the Disney Channel shows via the Monstober Spectacular Weekend, which also include Austin Alley, Jessie, Best Friends Whenever, and loads more. We can actually use this show to leap across to the world of Nickelodeon shows by looking at Wahoo Punch, a well-known beverage in the shows produced by Dan Schneider. First appearing in iCarly as a parody of Hawaiian Punch, this drink can be found in shows such as Victorious, Henry Danger, The Adventures of Henry Danger, Drake and Josh, Zoe 101, and supposedly many more Nick shows Dan Schneider worked on. In the Girl Meets World, Girl Meets Master Plan, the soda is visible in the background, cementing the connection between the two channels. So already we have Disney Channel via Girl Meets World, including Wahoo Punch, which makes an appearance in iCarly, Victorious, and more, which then in turn have crossovers with each other in the Nickelodeon universe, combining these two channels together. Amazing. But one important detail about Girl Meets World is that it's not a standalone show. It's a spin-off from its predecessor, Boy Meets World. Now, this show aired well before my time, from September 24th, 1993 to May 5th, 2000. It followed the everyday events and life lessons of Corey Matthews, who would later star with Riley's dad. The show had an overwhelmingly positive feedback from young fans, and from what I can find had significant cultural impact dealing with serious issues in a manner understandable to kids. But the thing is, this was not originally a Disney Channel show. It aired on the ABC network, which was bought out by Disney on July 31st, 1995. And because Boy Meets World has various crossovers of its own throughout the years, this means there are many more shows that share the same world as our Disney Channel shows here. This all starts with Sabrina the Teenage Witch, where on October 7th, 1997 on ABC, amazingly, there was what was unofficially called the Time Bomb event. In the episode Inagata Sabrina, the teen witch has to brew up something from a spellbook, so she decides to make a time ball to go to 1960. Salem, Sabrina's cat, accidentally eats the time ball since it smelled of sardines for some reason, and takes Sabrina's whole life back to the groovy 60s. After some time enjoying the peace-loving era, Sabrina realizes just how far women came from the last 30 years and decides it's time to go back home.
I'm so offended. Franklin and Lee won't talk to me because I'm a girl.
That's because men rule the world. And they do it by oppressing women. Let's take off our bras and burn them in defiance of the misogynistic patriarchy.
You know what? I think I have to meet Harvey, but maybe we can burn our underwear together later.
However, Salem refuses to cough up the time ball and runs away. After the end of this episode, Salem and Sabrina appear in the Boy Meets World episode No Guts, No Corey.
You know, I wonder what it was like during World War II.
And away we go!
As well as the episode from Teen Angel, One Dog Night, and You Wish's Genie Without a Cause. Now, Sabrina the Teenage Witch crossed over with Boy Meets World prior to this episode in The Witches of Pembroke, where Jack starts dating Millie from Sabrina. However, this episode is generally considered to be non-canon, so this time bomb event is definitely a connection between these three worlds. In addition to this, though, Boy Meets World connects to Step by Step, with Dana appearing in the episode The Happiest Show on Earth, and Corey Matthew having Steve Urkel from Family Matters as a pen pal in Beauty and the Beast. So then back to Sabrina. She also appears in an episode of Clueless titled Mr. Right during the end credits. There's a scene where Cher is walking out of her school chatting with Sabrina, and is shocked that Sabrina has been going to her school since the beginning of the year and that she's never met her since she knows everyone. Sabrina then says,
What, Sherry? You think I just snapped my fingers and magically appeared? As if.
Now, I just want to take a break for a moment and make it clear that I never watched any of these shows. All these shows aired in the 90s on a channel that I never watched. So I think it's time to introduce you to where I'm getting all this information from. In my search for connections from Boy Meets World, I found Poobala.com crossovers and spin-offs master page, a massive collection of information on TV crossovers all around the world, last updated in January of this year. It arranges this crossover list in alphabetical order, but thankfully has a useful list of groups at the bottom of the main page, showing which shows can be grouped together in the same universe. Group 30 is our Disney Channel universe, since it has Boy Meets World, Clueless, Family Matters, Moshe, Sabrina, Teen Angel, You Wish, and more like Full House, Gilligan's Island, The Hughleys, The Parkers, and Mego. I haven't even heard of those last three, but I've been fact-checking all these connections listed earlier and found Poobala to be a very accurate and credible source for these crossovers. So all these other groups of shared universes will be canon too, like Group 2, which contains Becca, Boston Legal, Cheers, Cosby, Everyone Loves Raymond, Friends, Frasier, Home Improvement, I Love Lucy, The King of Queens, Law & Order, Mad About You, MASH, The Nanny, The Practice, Seinfeld, Wings, and The X-Files! And so many more! Even though there are some inconsistencies like in the episode of Seinfeld where Susan tells George she's watching Mad About You, which is apparently in the same universe, but Poobala points this fact out. Disney Channel is obviously far from being the first to have big shared universes. These shows were doing it decades before. It astounds me that so many of these shows have such intricate details and crossovers like the Disney ones that I know, that I was completely unaware of being so much younger than them. Like, who knew that The Office was in the same universe as Star Trek? Or Las Vegas and Knight Rider? Oh, and of course Futurama, Family Guy, The Simpsons, King of the Hill, American Dad, and The Cleveland Show all sharing a universe. But at this point, some of you may be unimpressed, rolling your eyes and thinking, yeah, Adz, massive crossover universes aren't new. Remember the MCU? Avengers Infinity War, most ambitious crossover event in history? And yes, that is true. So, how about this? What if we were able to bring together our massive Disney Channel ABC universe with the MCU? Could it be possible to have Good Luck Charlie in the same universe as Thor? Well, maybe. On October 10th, 2014, there was an Ultimate Spider-Man crossover with Jesse titled Halloween Night at the Museum. It starts as a normal live-action episode of Jesse, but then after Jesse comes in possession of a medieval sword, Spider-Man arrives to team up with her and fight Lee Fay. Now, the Marvel Universe is known for its Ultimate Universes, there being multiple different Earths. Ultimate Spider-Man, the TV show, takes place in Earth 12041, which is also home to other animated Marvel series like Hulk and the Agents of Smash and Avengers Assemble. These characters are based off of those in Earth 616, the main Marvel reality, but are not actually the same. However, there may still be a chance. Film Theory made a great video talking about the Marvel Phase 5 on November 5th, which you should definitely go watch before I spoil the ending for you if you haven't seen it already. It talks about how, after Marvel's crossover event that was Phase 3, the Infinity Saga, brought all of Marvel's favourite movie characters over the past decade together, groundwork is being laid in the comics for the next massive crossover in Phase 5. This is still just a theory, a film theory, but there is a chance that after the culmination of characters across the Earth 616 universe, there may also be a potential for crossover of all Marvel universes. Go watch the Film Theory video for the full explanation, but the ultimate conclusion is that if these alternate universes are combined together, Earth 12041 and 616, then that means that Disney Channel Expanded Universe, and by extension all the other shows connected to Boy Meets World, would all be in the same plane of existence. Officially, canonically. Not only that, but Marvel also appears in Phineas and Ferb special, Mission Marvel. This then brings in Phineas and Ferb, which has so many other crossover events like Muppets and Take-Two Phineas and Ferb, which also features Blackjack and Taylor Swift, and others. Phineas and Ferb, Star Wars, an admittedly non-canon crossover but still a very cool one, and even My Little Pony, where in Hearth-Warming Tale, a plush of Perry appears. This then connects South Park, Rick and Morty, by extension Gravity Falls, Doctor Who, and even Mario and Zelda, and don't get me started on the video game crossover universe. There's just so many crossovers! There's just so many crossovers! I think it's safe to say that almost any and all TV shows, movies, games, and stories can be connected somehow, in some way, with each other. Maybe not canonically, but definitely in some way. And while it's impossible to draw a complete map of every crossover possible, finding these links to bring two seemingly completely disconnected universes together is a lot of fun, and a great way to enjoy these shows and movies in a whole new way. Plus, it makes so many fanfictions actually feasible. What started as me remembering that one special that had characters I knew from two different shows appearing on the screen at the same time, turned into a journey of discovery, and gave me a whole new perspective on these old TV shows, still entertaining me, and many others, years after they ended. And as always, thanks for watching.